Hey, Renter Retires, it's Adam Schroeder here for another episode of the podcast. And today I am joined by Natalia Karayaneva. She is the founder and CEO of Propy and a former real estate developer herself. Welcome, Natalia.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about your real estate background, kind of where you got started, and then also how that led to your newest venture of Propy?
Absolutely. I launched my first company when I was 19, and it was a software engineering company in a garage. So for a couple of years with a couple of other coders, we were building different applications for small businesses. And then back in time, I was in Bulgaria, and then Bulgaria entered European Union, and suddenly there was so much interest in real estate and this new member. And so I told my programmers, okay, now we will just acquire land, build those fantastic renderings, and sell those homes as future dreams, cross-border, remotely to foreigners. And this is what we did, and we did this for 15 years. We would always deliver very tech-driven construction process and closing process. Always would deliver the dream that we pictured in our renderings to real life. And it was quite a fascinating journey for sure. And then I wanted to build something more impactful, more global. So I decided to launch Propy, moved for this mission to automate the transaction to Silicon Valley. And then after we launched Propy, I've discovered blockchain and smart contracts. And now we are a Web3 real estate tech company.
Okay. And so you said you moved to Silicon Valley and now you're in Florida. Are you developing in Florida anymore, or was that just kind of a personal move, or kind of I know you're doing the stuff with the blockchain and that, but are you still kind of developing real estate for people?
No, so that was back before Prop, because when you run a tech company, you really cannot do anything else. I still have those resorts and hotels that I built in Bulgaria with being managed by my management company, but I'm not involved in operations at all. And even though, sometimes I see interesting opportunities, I'm fascinated about opportunity zones. But of course, I stopped myself and I don't do real estate development anymore. It's pure tech building that is fulfilling my life now.
Yeah. And so what exactly, so I've heard of blockchain, know a little bit about it. Why is it important, or why did you feel it was such an avenue to use blockchain for real estate transactions?
Well, back in time, I was fascinated by smart contracts. And for those who are not aware, these are not purchase agreements. These are self-executing codes that can do settlement for any rights, whether it's home ownership rights or something else. They can make purchases instant and secure. And that's what we've seen last year with NFT art and NFT music. Consumers today, they trust ownership transfers when it comes to digital assets such as art and music. And the same concept now is being applied to real estate. Home ownership rights can be transferred securely via blockchain, via whether it's NFTs, smart contracts. And essentially that's what empowered our mission.
Okay. So how is it, but I guess how is it different from just going through your regular real estate transaction? I mean, I know you say it's kind of instant. Does that mean that you can close faster, or kind of what's the benefit to it?
Yeah, not only faster, but instantly. But before
Well, but I mean, but you still got to do like your due diligence and all of that. So, and then you can sign.
that's before the closing. So you do
Right.
due diligence and everything before the closing. Once you did the due diligence and you know you want this asset, it's basically a couple of clicks experience and you own the property instantly. But before I get into this NFT instant transfer, I also want to clarify that we have a transaction platform for real estate investors and home buyers where you have your traditional mortgage and inspection period and so on. And this platform is just helping with the traditional closing to be open to the consumer and realtor and to the escrow officer. And it's secure because every single step we record on blockchain. The deed itself is recorded in the county and in the blockchain. When you send offers, you get text notifications whether your offers are opened or not, or whether they're accepted or not. So we bring more efficiency and transparency to the traditional process. And we've done already $4 billion in transactions via smart contract enabled platform. Now, the NFT sale, it's kind of our end goal where we want the real estate purchase process to arrive in 5 to 10 years. But basically, in the recent transactions, what we had is that the seller who is willing to NFT their home, they would prepare with our help title report, title search. Then also they would do inspection reports, everything done in advance and uploaded to our transaction platform. And then potential buyers, they have 2 weeks period to visit the house, look through the disclosures, ask all those questions, appoint their own inspectors if they're willing to. And then there is a sale day where everyone can make offers. And if your offer is highest, you get the NFT in your wallet and you become the owner of the property via LLC or a trust automatically and instantly. And the seller gets their USDC funds instantly in their wallet, I mean.
So is that essentially going around the traditional mortgage industry?
Not mortgage, I would say, around traditional closing process, even though, again, everything for due diligence is just made in advance. And right now, all our deals are cash deals. However, we're working with 3 partners that will provide crypto-enabled mortgages, meaning that you can apply for a crypto-enabled mortgage during the offer process, which means that you can be approved right away. And besides the NFT home, your collateral also would be your crypto holdings.
Okay. So how are you planning to kind of break further into the industry? Because it seems like you would have to be, in that case, you would have to be targeting people who actively held crypto holdings, which is, a relatively small portion of society. I mean, it's obviously getting bigger, but kind of how do you plan to scale that part of the business?
Well, the industry today, the closing industry is $20 billion. So initial would address about $1 billion of cash transactions, which is a huge opportunity on its own. And then in 2-3 months, as I mentioned, we're working with 3 mortgage providers that will be launching those clients that have crypto holdings. And in fact, last year, 1 out of 10 first home buyers in the US utilize crypto for their down payments. And there are about 40 million of Americans who own cryptocurrency. So we see this mass adoption in the crypto anyway. And the way we're scaling, even today, we have about 3,000 buyers, home buyers, subscribing to acquire NFT real estate. Then we have potential partnerships lined up with real estate funds that are seeking for liquidity in an innovative way. So they will buy and sell properties via our technology, via NFTs. And at the same time, as I mentioned, we have this platform that is making more efficient traditional deals with traditional mortgages. And we did already $4 billion transactions. It allows us to scale across the country and educate the realtors, real estate investors, how it is possible to record on blockchain, how it is possible to NFT real estate, and also get royalty fees if you bring a deal on chain.
So if you're a buyer coming in and wanting to to do one of these deals, is it a specific version of crypto that you have to have, or is it open to all of them? Like, do you have to have Bitcoin? Do you have to have Ethereum? Do you have to have Doge? Kind of what is is it just any, or is it specifically certain cryptos?
If it's a traditional closing with a traditional mortgage, then it could be dollars via wire transfer or ACH, our internal payment gateway to be utilized, or you just go to the bank, or it could be any coin. For the NFT sale, our upcoming sales will be in USDC, in a stable coin. So everyone who has a Dogecoin or Bitcoin or XRP, they can just transfer their funds into USDC seamlessly and quickly, and then participate in the auction.
Okay. Now, do you have any people coming to you concerned that, with the crypto volatility, they could end up paying significantly more in the long run because they're not using dollars when it comes to these things? Because I know a lot of the people who invest in crypto are looking for, the long-term appreciation of of Bitcoin or whatever they're investing in. How do y'all tackle that kind of potential concerns that people have?
That's a great question. The crypto investors, normally, they have a clear picture whether they want to be in more established coins like Bitcoin or Ethereum, or they want to risk and go into early coins, new coins, and wait for 100 or 1000x appreciation potentially. And they're also very wise when they want to hedge the risk and acquire real estate, invest in other asset classes. So it's up to them to decide. And of course, we don't convince anyone to either invest in real estate and stay in crypto. But because we accept USDC, they normally already have decided in a particular day, a period of time, when they want to exit their position, let's say in Bitcoin. So they transfer those funds in USDC, which is a stable coin, there is no volatility risk, and then they bid with this stable coin liquidity pool that they have created. And then the fascinating part is that if they still want to have the maximum exposure to crypto, then they can utilize this NFT real estate as a collateral and borrow, let's say, Bitcoin against it, or Luna, or any like Solana, anything that is they believe is more performing than Bitcoin.
Okay. And what kind of regulations are there on this currently? And do you see any other potential regulations coming down or being kind of threatened, I guess, as in the future?
Do you personally believe there are a lot of regulatory hurdles for the crypto industry as a whole? I would start from there.
Are you asking me if I think
Yeah.
there's regulation? I mean, they don't really regulate it much at all. I just didn't know if they'd looked at the transactions of it when it comes to real estate, and if there were any there, or if you were concerned that, as you become larger and kind of become a bigger player in it, if you thought that they might come in and try to regulate, real estate transactions with cryptocurrency.
There is nothing to regulate here, because when it comes to payment as a cryptocurrency, right now it's legal, right? You can transfer Bitcoin from Bitcoin to dollars, or you can acquire houses. It's a tax event, and once you exit your position in crypto, you have to pay capital gains, which is absolutely legal and very welcomed by the government, right? So on that end, there is no any regulatory risk. The way we do NFTs also today, it's a very common practice to acquire homes via LLCs and trusts. So basically, we are utilizing this method of acquiring LLC via LLCs and trusts, but then we tie those LLC to NFTs. So if you own the NFT in your wallet, it means you own this particular LLC, and this particular LLC owns this particular home. And thus we figured out the way to be fully compliant. We've hired the best lawyers, closing attorneys in real estate, and security lawyers in-house to make sure that there are no any red flags. So we've addressed everything that we could, but we have not discovered any wrongdoing, so to say, in this way of transacting. And that this is fascinating because the crypto payments, the Bitcoin itself, the NFT art, those are more risky from regulatory perspective than the way we do transactions, because many states early on in 2016, 17, and 18, they actually established those blockchain laws that are stating that blockchain records are evidences in courts because of their immutability. So because we record everything on blockchain is actually an additional benefit considered by the government.
Yeah. So let's say that I have a property that I'm looking to sell and I want to utilize Propy's platform and that type of thing. What steps do you have to take as the seller to get it ready to do that? Like, are there any special things? Like if you have to turn it into an NFT, I mean, most people don't even really understand what NFTs are. I don't even know if I fully understand what NFTs are. So do you have to do anything special to prep your home for sale in this way?
Yeah, that's a great question. So if you're a seller, you would go to our platform, sign up, create an account, and then you would click create a listing with your realtor or on your own. And then you would state whether you want to accept dollars or cryptocurrency and whether you want to NFT your property. So if you don't know anything about NFTs, probably you just want this to happen as a traditional transaction. You would invite your realtor if you work with a realtor. We will offer our own escrow and title services for faster closing. And then you'll be just notified by text message and within our platform throughout the whole process. How to accept payment, where to accept payment, and with DocuSign, you would sign all the documents within the platform. So it's a very seamless wizard-like experience for the seller. In case you want to go through a more or less traditional route, whether you accept crypto or dollars. And then if you want to NFT a property, that's where we're more selective. So once you click, I want to NFT this property, you would get on a call with our representative. We would introduce you crypto certified realtors if you want to work with realtors. And they would help you to navigate it, or we will further explain you. Right now, we are working with properties that have not been listed on MLS in the last 12 months because we don't want to sell properties just because they were not being able to be sold in the past. We're looking at properties that would create multiple offer situations because that's where our potential buyers are interested in to invest right now. And then we would ask you if this property is already on an LLC or a trust. If it is, fantastic. We just check the company and then decide if we want to proceed with this one. If not, we'll help you to set up a legal entity. Propy would help. Propy legal team would help with that. And then within 2 weeks, we'll prepare your home for purchase, for a sale, I'm sorry.
So you mentioned crypto real estate agents and using the NFT route. What exactly is that, and do they differ at all? Because I know, like, to be a real estate agent, you have to be, licensed by your state and do this, that, and the other. I've never heard of a crypto agent myself. So how are they different? What, certifications do they have to have? Kind of who are these people?
Yeah, so these are licensed realtors that have reached out to us to be trained on blockchain, crypto, wallets, and NFTs. They go through 7 sessions on all those aspects, and they're being taught how to prepare a house to be NFT'd, how to accept cryptocurrency as a method of payment, and then they pass an exam and become crypto certified by our company.
Okay. And so how many of those do you have? Like, is it steadily growing? Have you seen it kind of level off recently, or how are you recruiting these people, I guess? Because I can't imagine there are many real estate agents who are thinking to themselves, I want to, there's a crypto market out there for homes. I want to get into that.
Yeah. Well, in fact, we're not actively selling this course. It just became viral on social media because realtors are sharing that they became crypto certified by Propy. Our army of supporters is heavily growing, and they just buy this course and recommend other realtors. And we have about 1,000 of those crypto realtors, and it's growing every month.
So are these available in every state, or are y'all still missing a few states, or kind of how wide are y'all in the US?
That's a great question. We actually should create a map to understand where is the majority of the location of these people. But yeah, I cannot answer this.
Oh, okay. Not a
Yeah, I'm
problem at
sure
all.
they're across the country.
Yeah.
Well, we've just had a crypto and real estate summit in Miami 2 weeks ago. 500 people bought the tickets to the summit. And when I asked on the stage how many of you are not from Florida, half of the audience raised their hands, and they were across the country.
Nice. All right. So what else do people need to know about this process, whether it's, getting involved on the, with Propy, as a employee, or as, the buyer or the seller? Or I guess actually let's go to, if you want to be a buyer of this, is it just you go and look at listings like you would on the MLS, or do you have to go through some kind of application process, or what do you have to do as a buyer?
Yeah, for now it's kind of joining a wait list. For example, our next property, which is $185,000 condo. This is the starting price in Florida. On propy.com, you can see you can sign up as a buyer for this property to participate. And then on 12th of April, you can connect your wallet and participate in this sale. We have a listing platform, but it's still not like publicly available, not being promoted. At some point, yes, we'll have more like a browsing experience where you can browse for traditional deals in crypto, deals as NFTs. I guess we're still not there. We're very careful, and we're curated towards realtors and real estate investors that are acquiring and selling homes often, so they need a reliable platform for closings.
Okay. And are you getting much pushback from the traditional side of real estate?
What do you refer to traditional?
Just like your regular MLS cash buyers, those kind of people are from realtors who think, oh, I don't want to be involved in, the crypto side. So,
Yeah,
kind of not in my backyard type people.
I'm sure there are tons of those, right? Like with Bitcoin adoption, the first wave was like just saying how ridiculous it is and it's illegal and whatnot. Then they laughed at Bitcoin. Then they were scared, and now all the top billionaire institutional leadership, they are embracing Bitcoin publicly. So I guess the same we would see in the industry. However, I don't encounter those personally or within the team because we have so much inbound interest from realtors, from MLSs, from escrow and title companies that we hardly have enough time and team to actually serve the current needs. And I'm sure the rest of the industry will come on board as well.
All right. So is there anything else you think our listeners should know?
I appreciate this opportunity to share Propy story. Check out propy.com if you want to sell your home or buy a home as an NFT or traditionally. Follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, where we're educating our audiences on basics in crypto and in real estate. So I would love you guys to be involved.
All right. Well, Natalia, thank you so much for joining us today. As she mentioned, the website is propy.com. That's PROPY.com, propy.com. Thank you so much for joining us. To all our listeners, head on over to Rent to Retirement as well. And you can see the properties that we have that are not currently crypto, but who knows, someday soon they might be.
Yeah,
And you can also leave a review on your podcast platform, whatever you are using to listen to us now. Please leave a review so other people can know that it's a podcast that they should listen to. And as always, if you have any questions, email podcast@renttoretirement.com. That's podcast@renttoretirement.com. And we'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for watching the Rent to Retirement YouTube channel. Check out some of our other videos, like this one, or this one here.